Hello, smart people. How are you today? I'm feeling absolutely delighted recording this for you because, in order to make this episode, I got to listen back to my interviews with my Tech for Non-Technical Founder students and hearing their voices and hearing their insights and seeing the progress that they've made. It's just been such a joy. It's been a really, really nice reminder. Last week, we talked about billionaire non technical founders. And yes, that's really inspiring. That's why I made it for you. But it can feel a bit out of reach. Steve Jobs can feel a bit out of reach, right? So this week is different. You're going to hear from four of my actual students, people with day jobs, people with families and careers and lots of obligations who are building tech ventures and future proofing themselves for the digital age. And as you listen to them and as you hear their insights, ask yourself, which one of them do I most identify with? The first person that you're going to hear from today is Dr. Marilyn Sandor. And Marilyn is a pediatric dentist in Florida. And during COVID, she couldn't treat her patients in her clinic because you obviously can't socially distance if you are looking inside somebody's mouth, right? But her patients still had teeth, and so they still had toothaches and they needed care. So Marilyn joined the Tech One Technical Founders program, and she built an app that let her treat her patients remotely. And so even after lockdowns ended, her patients kept on using it. She found it to be a really, really useful tool for checkups. And now other dentists are using it to treat their patients too. In other words, she didn't just protect her practice during that really difficult time. She basically changed who she is. She shifted from dentist to health tech founder. And so I asked her what surprised her most about that journey.
Well, I have to say that one of the surprises was how much I enjoyed it. That's good. And the other surprise was that I will not say that it is not difficult, and I'm absolutely not belittling programmers and software developers and so forth, but it was how welcoming they are to non-technical founders. If you have an idea or a solution that makes sense, and if you can work with someone with whom you can articulate your thoughts and be able to listen closely and understand the essence of the conversation, understand that some of the terminology you may not know at all, but if you can understand the context in which it's used, you can search that up quietly later. And if you can align yourself with developers and programmers that do not have an ego, that are actually interested in sharing, that really takes you forward quickly because then you don't have that fear factor, the concern that you're going to embarrass yourself if you don't know, or if you misspeak, then you're going to take yourself down a track that's going to waste money because you actually meant to say one thing and meant another. So if you're working with a team that is just really human, then you're able to accomplish what you want to accomplish.
The next person you'll hear from is Musis Kasana. He is the CEO and founder of an asset management firm based in South Africa. And he's somebody who invests in tech companies. And so he knew that digitization was inevitable, but he needed a practical way to make it real inside his own business. So here's how Tech for Non-Technical Founders shifted his mindset and helped him future proof his business.
We're an asset management firm, and so we are very much dialed in into global markets, and we invest in a lot of technology companies. And the one thing that had always been on the back of my mind as a business is the fact that we are going to have to digitize whether we like it or not, and that you're not going to survive. You're not going to be around in 10 to 15 years if you haven't digitized. So it was a big solve that we were basically looking for. Number one. Number two, our clients as well had started getting tired of the analog processes of opening an account, closing an account, withdrawing money, depositing money. And hence, we needed to digitize accordingly. And so hence that's why I wanted to actually equip myself with the necessary tools in order to be able to understand how to build an app and basically digitize myself. the problem is that the perceptions are that there's always you have to know how to code, etc., etc. And I did not know how to code, and even though I did try, it wasn't really doing well for me. So hence, I wanted another way, and one of the other options was going to another university. But then I came across tech for non-techies, and hence that's why I was like, okay, let me have a look at this option. And it seemed as if it was really a good course, and hence I tried it.
Awesome, thank you. And am I right in thinking that it was actually your friend Nasi, who was one of my earliest students, who actually introduced you to tech non-techies?
Yes, correct. So Nasi had posted it, the interaction between yourselves and him, and hence that's what actually got tech for non-techies on my radar. And going through your profile on LinkedIn and following the videos and going through the history of tech non-techies, I basically thought, this sounds more practical than rather having to go to an institution such as like an Oxford or Harvard and trying to get that before coming to you. Yours sounds more practical. And I think we're now at that age where education is also being disrupted. And it was a difficult mindset shift to have to go say, okay, you don't need to go to Oxford in order to get these tools, which is something that I'd still had to overcome.
Well, incidentally, I have actually taught at Oxford, so.
Yes.
Okay. So, what has been the biggest breakthrough that you've experienced while you've been working with me?
It's my mindset shift, right? So, firstly, having to understand that you can get the critical skills without having to actually go to a specific established historical institutions such as Oxford or Chicago, Booth, any of those institutions or Harvard, in order for to be able to get the critical IT skills. That's really been a major shift, and I think that's just happening across. That's what IT or tech is basically disrupting all over, and no one knows actually where it's going to land, but there is a disruption. So hence, that was the first mindset shift. The second mindset shift was the fact of how you approach the tech industry in terms of the thinking, as opposed to it's a continuous improvement model, a circular model, as opposed to having one idea and implementation, and all you're trying to reach for is perfection. It's more about being adaptive and consistently adapting accordingly. I think that was also a major shift, a mindset shift from my end, because when you go through the schooling like we all do, it's either you get something wrong or right. There's never you can get it half right or half wrong, and hence you can always improve yourself. It's either you're in or out. Whereas with technology, you can always improve, and that's really the big mindset shift that I got. And thirdly, I didn't need to know how to code in order for me to be able to understand the fundamentals of the technology space, how the business model works, and what are the crucial things to get right.